Hi there, Diane Evans here with StampinWithDiane.com. I'm an independent Canadian Stampin' Up demonstrator. Now, if you've joined me from a blog hub, I'm so glad that you've joined me. And if you've never done it before, make sure that you do subscribe to my YouTube channel. I want to make sure that you get notified every time I upload a new video. So today I'm going to use this beautiful Hydrangea Hill suite from the J2J mini catalog. It has not only beautiful DSP, but it has other beautiful elements that go along with it. And of course the stamps and the dies as well. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to make this particular card. And it's a double easel fold card with a bit of a twist because I'm not having my easel fold just go like this. I actually have an inside part to a card as well. And for this video, I'm also showing you how we're going to cut this particular designer series paper and to make this kind of a fold. Plus also I'm going to show you different elements to make this and also do this fancy type ribbon technique that we have on there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get started. I always cut my designer series paper into 4" by 12" 4" usually by 6" strips, but for this particular project I'm going to go into 4" strips and then we're going to cut down from there. All right, so what you're going to need to make this card is not only the suite that you're going to need there, but you're going to need a piece of, this is Misty Moonlight, and this is 5.5 by 8.5, and it's scored at 4 1/4. And I'm just going to go in with my bone folder and make sure that I've got a really good crease on there. Now I also have a piece of Highland Heather, and this is 4" by 10", and I've gone ahead and I've scored it at 5 1/4, and then I've turned it and scored it again at 7 5/8, and that's what gives me my easel that's there. And we're going to use that. And that is going to go onto this part of the card. And then from this piece of designer series paper that I've cut down, I'm going to show you how I cut this so that I got the two parts there. And then I had to use another piece to get this piece as well. Now don't worry about the measurements. Measurements I will have connected to the blog post that I have below. But it'll give you a rough idea of what the different measurements are. So this is going to fit here. This piece happens to be, let's see, this would be 3 3/4 by 5", and that's what will go there. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down to begin with, and then I'll show you the cutting on the other one. There's lots of little bits and pieces to this type of this card, so I strongly suggest that maybe what you do is you stay to the end to see all the different things that I've done with it. Now, I've taken this piece, the bottom piece here, and I have cut it up. I'm going to cut 2 pieces at 2 1/4. This will be, if I measure this, it goes to, this piece is almost 2 1/2, but I'm going to go 2 1/4, and I'm going to have that also by the 3 3/4". So let me bring in my trimmer, and we're going to cut this to 2 1/4". Let's see, if that is 2 3/8. I might do this 2 3/8. Okay, so I'm just going to go, that piece there is 2 3/8, so I'm going to go halfway in between. So 2 3/8, I'm going to go 2 1/4. And then I'm going to cut off another piece that's 2 1/4. And this is going to give me that look, that it's a continuous look on the card. I'll show you what I mean by that. So this is going to go like this and like this. So let me just show you how that's going to go on here. So this goes onto this piece here. And then this piece is going right here as well. So it gives us the continuous look with the flowers on there. Like I say, when I designed this, and I designed this card actually about, ooh, heavens. Let's see, about, you know what, I'm going to cut a tiny bit off of there, off of this bottom piece. And I'm probably just going to cut off an 1/8. And now I've got that sticky on the back. Does that happen to you? Oh my goodness. I am actually going to take, and this is one hint for you. If you ever get sticky on here and you do have an embossing buddy, you can use that to unstick it. So I want it to go off the bottom part here. So I'm just going to take off just a smidgen. And that's going to go on the bottom part. And that's going to give me my equal distance around. So I guess it would be more, and I'll fix that measurement on the bottom of the, in the blog itself. All right, so there we got that. And then this piece I'm probably also going to have to trim a little tiny bit off, just a smidgen off there as well. This video, like I say, is one of those ones that there's so many different steps to it, but I want to show you how intricate and how different this card really, really is. So this is going to match up with that. And then that is what's giving us the easel fold there. So I'm just going to come back in with my foam folder. And we're going to get that good and creased. And now I can go ahead and I can put that on this part of the card. Now, there's quite a bit of weight to that, so I might decide that I could go with my glue, or I could go with double-sided tape, or I could use the Stampin' Seal Plus. But I'm just going to use my glue because I want a bit of wiggle room when I go to put it onto the card. Now we're just going to lay that onto there. There we go. And I also do have a piece of soft or seaside spray that is cut at 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to go ahead and put it on the inside. I do not know what I want and who I want this card for. It is a thank you card, a special thank you card. So I'm just going to leave it like this because I'm not sure exactly who's going to be getting this. Actually, this is cut at 3 3/4 by 5. All right. So now we've got kind of the base of the card done. I am now going to go put the flowers behind here. Now this is where I have a bunch of different things in here. I've gone ahead and I've stamped this hydrangea from the stamp set. And I'm also going to go in, and just to show you how easy this is, I'm taking some old olive and I'm going to stamp, actually I'm going to stamp the leaves on this particular one. Now normally I would put something underneath there. So let me just go put this here. I am using the paper piercing mat because it's very, very important that you've got something to absorb and help with the stamping. These are photopolymer stamp sets and they stamp 100% better when you have your foam underneath. Now, because I am, oh my goodness, this, just trying to get, I'm covering this part up, so I'm not too concerned about that part. And this has got kind of a wash on the stamp itself, so it doesn't stamp everything. Now I kind of missed a bit there, so I'm just going to go back in and get a bit more of it. There we go. All right, so this is actually going to be a piece that is going to go on this other piece that I've cut out, and I'll show you that. Now, I've gone and I've used the die, and I've cut out a piece like this, which is just from the Designer Series paper. That is this Designer Series paper. one right here. So I've gone ahead and I've cut out, this was out of the bottom of the piece that we just had of this designer series paper. I cut one of those out, and I also cut out a purple one, and I also cut out a blue one as well from there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this part off, just like here, and I want to attach that to this part here. And the reason I want to do it that way is because of this effect here. When I used this particular piece of paper, you can see it picked up other ones there, but it also has this color that's here. And I took a piece that is this designer series paper, and in the die itself, it has a bunch of these flowers. And that I cut that, and this is how I'm getting this effect. So I've done most of this effect just for the purpose of the time on the video. So I'm just gonna actually glue this onto my card here, or onto here. So there's that. Now, I haven't completed this because I wanted to show you how you get this really cool way with the flowers. Like I say, this is one of those ones, I want to let that just sit for a little bit. And I've got this is going to go behind, so I'm just going to cut this one off. And I had a blue one as well. And by starting this video a couple of times, I lost that one. So no worries, we're just going to tape this one down. Now you can see where I've got the flowers in there. So I've got some of these flowers and I've cut them out ahead of time. And the tool that you need to play and to put these on is your stylus from your scoring board. Or you can take your pick and also change the poker and use the stylus on there. But I have my stylus from my board, and I'm just going like this, and I'm just like that and like that. And I had to cut out just to do this flower 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those rows of that particular die. And then I'm going back in with my glue. And we're going to let this just sit up just a little bit. And then I'm going to take these, and they just go and sit on here. And we want them to make sure that they're poked up. But you can see this would take a little bit of time to do, so that's why I did some of it ahead of time as well. Get that. I think we're going to need a tiny bit more glue on here. Originally I was putting the glue onto the back of the flowers, and I found that it wasn't working for me very well. I think the more glue that you have on the flower base itself, the better. So we just get that stuck on there, and I think we could put one more flower in there. So that's what gives you that hydrangea look flower, because they are very, very, very pretty flowers. And then I have this, and then my blue flower as well. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place this flower right like so. And I'm going to actually pop that particular one up with my dimensionals. I'm hoping I've got this dry enough. So let's just go down like that. This set has so many different possibilities of what you can do with it. I'm putting lots of dimensionals on there. Nothing like popping something up. And then we're going to come back in with our take your pick tool. goes there. Don't want to squish down the front of these flowers. And then I'm also going to put just a tiny bit of glue here because I want the stem part not to flap up. I want it to lie flat onto the paper here. All right, so this is going to go, so when I open this, it's going to go like that. And then we're just going to push that part down. Now, this part of the hydrangea is just going to go in like this to give us a look over there. And then the blue piece that I have is going in from the other side. And I'm actually going to cut this part off. And it's just going to go in here like so. And I'm going to go in and glue that. So I've shown you how to do, just going to go down here, or up here, maybe. There we go. All right. And then we're going to, I've got a piece of Gorgeous Grape. And I did have a piece of Gorgeous Grape. All right, so what I'll do first is I will go in with my beautiful, gorgeous ribbon, grape ribbon, and I'm just going to actually just tie a bow. And I'm just using, I'm just doing the bunny ear technique with this particular bow. And I got a bit of glue on me, so, and then I can go in and cut this. This grape goes, Gorgeous Grape goes gorgeous. They named it appropriately, let me tell you, it's Gorgeous Grape. And pull it tight, because that's the key to doing a bow. We're going to put that bow there, but what I want to do first is I want to do that special effect that I love to do with the bow, and that's to come in with the heat gun. And we're going to, because it's a synthetic bow, we're going to shrink it a little bit. You don't want to burn it, but look at this effect that happens with the bow. Like I say, you can do this with a few of our ribbons that we have out there right now. So you can't do it with all of them, but anyone that's full of synthetic and that sort of stuff, and you can kind of tell the more sheer ones are the ones that you can do with that. So let me just do a little bit more there. Shut that piece off. And I'll come in, and I think what I'll do is I'll trim this a little bit now. Whoops, it's a little warm. And just do a little bit of a trim here as well. Now I'm going to come in with my glue dots. And I'm going to just put a glue dot there. And we're going to put that ribbon right there. And I didn't want my ribbon to be up there. So what you can also do with your glue dots is you can put a glue dot on here. I would squish it a bit. Put a glue dot there. And then just put it like that. And then we can do another glue dot here as well. Okay. All right. So that gives that look there. So we've got that. Now what we need to do is I need to get my sentiment on there. And what I did use was Gorgeous Grape. And I may have to recut one of those dies out. I had two of them here. Isn't that strange? You lose both of them. I'll just take a quick glue. Well, that's no worries. I'm going to take some Gorgeous Grape. And the die that I'm using is Ornate Labels dies. Or sorry, the Ornate Frames dies. And it's this particular one that I'm using from there. So I'll just go and I'll cut that. And actually, what I can actually show you is I actually prefer not to cut and then stamp, especially when I'm using a thank you one here from the Many Thoughts. And when I use that particular stamp, it is a clear mount stamp. So sometimes I can't get it exactly in the middle. So what I want to do is I want to go put that on there. I'm going to use my embossing buddy because I'm going ahead and I am heat embossing this. And I'm going to use some Versamark. And we're going to do this white embossing powder. So we're just going to go here. And I'm just going to close that lid up. And then I'll bring in my white embossing powder. You see that I always use these tubs when I do this. I find it's so much easier for me, but everyone has their different techniques of how they put embossing powder on there. And now I can just go ahead and heat set that. Again, another tip with heat setting is that you do not want to move the gun like this because it's going to take forever to do it. You want to come and just have the gun and you move the paper just like so. And we'll bring in our little baby boss. Just going to put that die right there. Now, as I've used in the past, I've used my Post-it notes tape, so I'll go ahead and I'll use some of that. I'll just get that in the middle. And we'll run that through. And you notice with my little cut and emboss, I don't have my ends even, and that is so that it goes through very easily on in your mini cut and emboss. Die off. And I have my Post-it note tape. I usually just put it there, and then that's all ready to go. So now I've got this, and now we're going to put this onto the front with dimensionals. And I'm going to use 3 because I don't want it going down in the middle. Come in with my pick tool and get those off. And let's go ahead and put that right there. Now the other thing that goes along beautifully with this, so there we have our card like that. I kind of want this in a little bit more, and I want it down. So let me just go and put some glue on there. Don't think I did that. That's popped up. There we go. All right, so the last part that's to go with this is the embellishments that go on there. We could use these opals, but I really want to use these beautiful pearls that are pastel pearls. They come in Gorgeous Grape, Seaside Spray, the Highland Heather, and the Blushing Bride. So let's see. On my other ones, I used the Gorgeous Grape. Let's go ahead and use the Gorgeous Grape again. Let's see. I'll put one right, whoops, there's one there. And then let's put one just down here. There. So there's my card. My double easel card that stands like this. We can decide how we want to put it. but I hope you enjoyed that. Like I say, it does give some different looks to it. Like I say, with the hydrangea, this, and using the different stuff and from the suite, and then also using this beautiful designer series paper. So I hope you liked that. If you did like that, give me the thumbs up. If you have any questions that I've done with this, don't hesitate to reach out. I do answer everything on my YouTube channel. Another thing is that make sure that you do subscribe below. And also, if you do live in Canada and do not have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to be your demonstrator. By using my host code, and my host code changes periodically throughout the month, and it is off to the right-hand side, you qualify for very generous hostess rewards that I have just for anybody that purchased with me online. And also I give away tutorials each and every month. And I'm a part of, this month, I'm a part of 3 different tutorials. So by getting, shopping online, you would also qualify for one of those tutorials every time that you put an order in online. So I hope you enjoyed that, and have a great day. Bye for now.